YouTube and Facebook, twitch.tv/CompeteForever, youtube.com/CompeteForever, and facebook.com/CompeteForever. This is Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming. We'll take your phone calls live, 877-853-5247, meeting ID Esports Extra. That's 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here at Little SNY TV, a little NBC Sports, little Madden, and a little NBA 2K League. Got the crew here today. Got a little small gaggle, a little small one, but we're here. Got A. Willie down in the DFW, and on the other side of Texas, or I guess below him, I guess southeast of him, I guess technically, down in H-Town would be Kelly Wells Brinkley, the queen of Esports Extra. And then we got OG, Ivan King Curtis, flying with them Dayton Flyers out there in Ohio. What's up, guys? We ain't talked in about 4 or 5 days. What's up with you?
Ladies
feels like
first.
a long time. It feels like a really long time since we've talked. So I'm happy to be back with you, King. So let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, it's been like what, 4 days, something like that? Yeah, 4 or 5 days. Yeah, like last Thursday, right? So yeah, that's good stuff. Everybody have a good weekend. Everybody good?
I'm good.
Yeah, we good. Yeah.
I put up my Christmas stuff.
What? Kelly, you crazy?
Christmas stuff.
What's wrong with you? You all right?
We need some you need some joy. We just went through like a hell of an election. There's still COVID outside.
Yeah, but you got the black girl joy. You're the black girl joy. You are the joy.
Yeah, and also, but I have a little one too, and it's a great threat.
Okay.
Of like the Christmas tree is up. That means Santa's watching.
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter or Instagram the other day, some guy was somebody broke the lady's vase, or I don't know how you want to say it, vase, depending on what part of the country and one of the kids did it, and they all pointed to the guy, and then the guy said no, it was the daughter actually. Then she got them all together, and then she looked at the daughter, said, "Who did it?" She said, "The guy." And she looked at the guy and said, "No PS5, no Christmas. Who did it?" He said, "She did it." She said, "Why you?"
I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
So there you go. Hey, Willie, what's up, baby? You good?
Good, man. I'm good. Ready to get it in. It's good to see y'all.
Sports fam. I like that. What's up? Let's get it. All right. We'll take your phone calls live at 877-853-5247. Meeting ID Esports Extra. That's 377-678-9872 at the pound button twice to join the show. We're talking a little NBA. We're going to get into some NFL with the Hail Murray. We'll get into some of that. Kim Ng with the Marlins, the first female as a general manager, well-deserved. She's overqualified, actually, for the position there down in Miami. So good to see that happen. We'll get into a little esports stuff with Lil Nas X. My daughter was talking about it. When did this happen, guys? Was this Thursday or Friday? My daughter was talking about it. Roblox. Talk to me, Coach K. You got a Roblox person in your house too. I don't know.
It was on Saturday.
It was on
Saturday. It was like Friday going in Saturday.
See, I don't even know. Like, how are we gonna be esports people and no one knows anything?
I felt like I should have got like a backstage pass for as much Roblox that I buy.
Oh man.
Here too.
What's love?
Here too.
All the esports people out there, hey, we love you. I guess we're supposed to be part of them, actually, and we absolutely are. So good.
He
stuff
was
there.
right. It was on Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Yeah.
See, we need you on the program, OG. You gotta rope us in, man, and lead the way, man.
Business been good, man.
We see.
Business been good. Well, tell us a little quickly, about 30 seconds, how good has business been?
Well, I mean, I signed a merch deal yesterday, so
Nice.
my line will be coming out here soon.
Yes, sir.
Had an interview with the BBC. That'll be shown on their website. I talked to Sacred Heart University today. It went really well. They want to do some work with me. So stuff been pretty good.
Nice, man. Okay, yeah. Business, as AB would say, business is up booming, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I got a cameo now.
Oh, a cameo.
Yeah.
You got the residuals coming. What
Birthday
kind of
shout
cameo?
outs.
What kind of cameo? Where can I find this cameo?
I'll send a link, but it's just it should be under OG King Kurt, and I do birthday shout outs, one-on-one lessons with 2K, different stuff like that.
Okay, got it, man. Good stuff, man.
Shout out to Ford Models, man. They working, man.
Yes, sir. Pit Life 718 in the chat said, "My OG." Okay, we got some folks out
Oh,
there.
no, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy.
Okay. What up, Pit Life? Appreciate you stopping by.
That's Kev. He actually works at the Barclays Center.
Okay,
Yeah.
Barclays Center. Is he employed by the Barclays Center or the Nets?
Mm-hmm.
Pit Life, I need some tickets, dog. Hook me up. All right. Look, y'all about to get James Harden. I can be a really good friend, man. I've got great connections. I'm a really good person. Trust me, dude. I'll give you my number, man. Holler at me, whispers in the Twitch chat. Let's get all right, y'all ready? Speaking of the Nets, James Harden, the beard, was about to be the first $50 million man in the NBA. He said, "I'm good." Once out of Houston, gotta wonder how much the advocacy and the love for the Republican Party and the love for their president or the current president, it's about to get us butt up by the White House in January on the 20th. How much the ownership and the cozy ties with Trump had to do with that as well. Wants to go to Brooklyn, be a great job. My question is, do you guys like this trade? And does Kyrie Irving absolutely have to go in this deal, which it seems like there's no way in hell they can keep all four? We'll start with the guy that actually draws a paycheck that says Brooklyn Nets on it. OG, what are your thoughts here, James Harden and the Nets?
I like it. I mean, now, if you would have asked me this like probably 5-6 years ago, I'd probably say no. But I mean, I think the angle I've been looking at it is that KD is a champ. He's a 2-time champion now. Kyrie is a champion. I think they're not in the same, mindset that they were some years ago before they became winners. Mm-hmm. I think it's a perfect time if it was going to happen. Although we haven't even got a chance to enjoy Kyrie and KD together, coming off of their injuries and everything like that. So that's a whole nother, topic in itself. But my thing is, Brooklyn has been doing a great job with the youth movement that they've had, making the playoffs at the 7th and 8th seed. I'm sure as any other organization that's looking to try to win a championship, at some point, you got to make a move that can put you in that position. And I see, you got James Harden, Kyrie, and KD on the same team in the East. I mean, I think it's doable. Everybody's worried about it's one basketball, but KD went to the Golden State and it was only one basketball.
Absolutely. Good deal. Absolutely.
And my thing of it is, if I compare that situation, Clay did most of his damage with the second unit at times. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it can work because at any point in time, whether you got two of those guys on the bench or one of those guys on the bench, it's a lot of firepower out there. And then we know in the East, it ain't too much stopping that. I mean, so I think they got a championship on their mind. The only thing that I really kind of giggled about when I thought about it was that when you think of this type of star power, you don't see like Steve Nash as the coach. Mm-hmm. Like you would think of like a older veteran. Yeah. So it was like, I don't know. It's I'm excited. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna be against it. I mean, so I think it'll be electric, man. I don't think we've seen nothing like close to this. I can think about the old Lakers when they had Gail Goodrich and all of them got where they had three guys average over 25.
Right.
Like we ain't seen nothing like that in a while. So yeah. I mean, Golden State, I take them away because we ain't seen nothing.
Especially in their prime. Now we saw Miami's big three, we saw Boston's big three, but they were in their early 30s, so they were already getting too old. But these guys are all late 20. Well, actually, a couple of them in their early 30s because James Harden is 31, 32. KD's about 30. Because KD came out in 07, right? Mm-hmm. 19. So yeah, he's 31, probably somewhere around the 31, 32 too as well. So I agree. Kels, let me get your thoughts here. He's right. You got to wonder about how they can set up as there are enough basketballs. But he did bring up a good point. KD has played off the ball well. And look, Kyrie's going to be gone. So there's only two big superstars there with KD and James Harden. So your thoughts on this?
Well, first, when Harden made a statement about he doesn't feel like he can win a championship in Houston, living here for some years now, it kind of made me, I was like, wait, what? But you disappear in the playoffs. It's not the city, like you don't show up. So it doesn't matter where you live, like the ball goes into the same basket if you shoot it right. So, that was a little offsetting for me of like, well, what do you like? You're the problem. So like whenever someone doesn't know they're the problem, that's interesting. But I think it could work. But I just worry about, I know that KD is looking for a team to be his team. That was a gripe for him when he was in Golden State. Like they didn't love him there. Like he was on the team, but he wasn't beloved there. And that's something that he is really, really searching for. So I hope that they don't, run into like that roadblock there of it both being their team. If egos can be put aside and the greater good is looked at to win a championship, to go far, to be very successful, then yes, we can all prosper, but we got men athletes. So how often does that happen?
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Willie, your thoughts on here? Look, they probably can keep Kyrie, but you're going to lose people like Dinwiddie. You might lose, a Joe.
Karis
Some of these
LeVert.
Karis LeVert, some of these other ancillary pieces that you're absolutely going to need, and then you probably won't have a damn draft pick again in the first round because Boston already got 3 of them. Probably won't have another first round pick the rest of this damn century. Well, actually, this decade, probably till 2030. But yeah, it's win now time. Your thoughts on this with the Nets, man? Look, if they get James Harden, pencil them in. Who's going to stop them? I know the Bucks will get into that. They've gotten better, and the Heat are who they are, and the Sixers still have some talent, but they're the number one team in the East easily.
Yeah, I agree, and I do think that if you're the Nets, I think that's an opportunity that you certainly explore because again, when you win a title, you got to have guys on your roster that are in that conversation. It's very few teams that have won titles that don't have guys, at least 1 or 2 guys on their roster that aren't in the conversation for being in the top 20 or 30 players to ever lace them up. So when you have a chance to add that type of player to your roster, you have to explore that. And the second thing is, I do think that to a certain extent it can work because one of the things that Kelly said, and I wanted to touch on that, was if you look at KD's championship and if you look at Kyrie's championship, both of those guys they have 3 championships between them, but they both got them when they were sort of, people looked at them and like, were you the real reason why we won it?
Yeah.
So with that being said, even though they've accomplished all the things from an individual standpoint, you brought up the Celtics, Larry. What it reminds me of is that Celtics team. It's not just bringing guys together that have big names. It's the timing of it as well, making sure you bring them together when they can all still go. So
Right.
obviously these cats can still go.
Ubuntu, what I'm saying? You got to, sort of, subvert
Right.
the egos there.
So with that being said, bringing them together while they can still go, but also bringing them together where there is a level of maturity where they're all sort of willing to sacrifice something because to a certain extent, all 3 of those guys still have something to prove. Obviously, James hasn't won one yet. So bringing them together.
And Kyrie's actually the youngest of the 3.
Yeah. So, and bringing them together when they all feel like we still have something to prove and why they can all still go, I think is something that can work. And the other thing too, I think people forget about this is when James, and I know James has grown as a player, KD's grown as a player, et cetera. But when they were all together in OKC, when they were babies, I'm talking about Russie, James, and KD, when they would bring James off the bench, James ran the point.
He was the point.
So
He was.
So with that being said, like it's not as if he doesn't have the basketball acumen or the basketball IQ to be on the ball and then to let Kyrie and KD kind of do their thing. And then also have enough skill to be off the ball to be efficient while their guys are
That's
doing
what
their
I
thing
like.
as well.
I like the ball in Kyrie's hands, and who's gonna double off of any of those guys? That's
Well,
what I like.
Well, the thing about it, when you look at it from an offensive standpoint, like most of the teams that win titles for the most part have those guys at the point that can function as a point guard, but I can also get off the ball too and let this dominant wing cook, right? So most of the teams that win have those types of guys, and the teams that have like the quote unquote pure point guard guy, when the ball sticks in their hands and there's that predictability element in there, those are the teams that win a lot of regular season games and don't win titles, right?
Sure.
So, with Tony Parker, all those guys that were like, when he first came in, it was like, man, is he really a point guard, right? Steph, the same thing. Is he really a point guard? Mario Chalmers, to a lesser extent, when he was in Miami, could get off the ball and let those guys cook. So with that being said, I think they have, they got 3 guys that can really get off the. But the difference with Russie is that those other three guys, from a skill standpoint, they can all shoot, so they can
Absolutely.
function as spot up guys when the other guy is cooking.
Mhm.
So so that's the difference there. So if you
Yep.
have a guy that can do that, and you got three, man, that's hard to contend with.
Well, look, he's trying to shoot his way out of town. Go real quickly.
No, I
OG.
did. I just wanted what
Just turned down 100 what a 50 million extension. It was like going to be like 103
I,
million. He's already owed 3 years and 133 million. So whatever James is in good shape.
I think that
James
was.
got no-
what I was gonna say.
Pressing. Go ahead, OG.
I'm
Real
not,
quick, OG.
you never seen three closers on one team. Like, I mean, any one of those three guys could take the last shot.
Yep.
Like, you don't typically see that. You haven't seen it, I don't think, ever, as far as when you think about closers, like, and you think about big threes, like any one of those can take the last shot and create their own shot.
Mhm.
So I think it'd be fun as hell to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, and they're all
Yeah.
great long range shooters as well. I think there's enough, I guess enough basketballs for all three of those guys. I mean, they can literally sort of figure it out in the regular season. You cook. Now it's your turn, and then by the time the playoffs start, they'll have it figured out. I mean, with talent like that, I mean, hell, I'd pay for it just to see how it would work out. I mean,
The
right?
other thing I was gonna say, like about that, was that
Yep.
it's a difference if Kyrie has the ball
Mhm.
and he got James Harden or KD to my left or to my right. His
Right.
mentality is different than if he looks to his left or right and it's Dinwiddie
All right.
or Karis LeVert. I mean, no disrespect. I love him. Like, I mean, but it's levels. Like, I mean, so the confidence factor rises depending on who's on the side of you. And we've seen that, unfortunately, in OKC. Russ, I thought a lot of the times he should have deferred, but he chose to be the alpha in a lot of situations where KD should have had the ball taking the last shot, and Russell chose
Mhm.
different. Where I think in this case, I don't see that happen.
Yeah. You look at it too. You hear some rumblings down in Houston how they placated James, changed their whole culture, everything to fit him off the court, on the court as well. So we'll see how that works out in Houston with him. We'll see with the ownership as well how that's going to sort of drive this narrative with James Harden. We were just talking about some other point guards as well. Now we're going to get back to CP3. The trade did go down, traded to the Suns for Abdel Nader. And OKC got what I believe 4 players, and a first round pick. Yes,
Mhm.
Rubio, Oubre, Ty Jerome, Jalen Lecac or Lecac?
Like you.
LeQ. Yeah, Jalen
Yeah.
LeQ. And a 2022 first round pick. Ah. I guess I'm okay with it because it is that time. Look, the Suns, they went 8-0 on the bubble. They need to take a step. It's like the Knicks if they got Russ. I'd be okay with it. It's just money. But they did give up just one first round pick. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm all right. I don't know if this is going to move the needle. Maybe it puts them in the playoffs, which I guess that's the goal. That's the next step for these guys. Maybe 40 wins. Your thoughts here, A. Willie?
Yeah, I think one of the things, it really kind of reminds me.
And we got Aiden. Can't forget about Deandre. He's there.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things it reminds me of is when I was working with the Red Sox and when we won it in '04, and then the Mets, quote unquote, overpaid for Pedro. And he went to the Mets and he got a deal that nobody else in the league was going to give him. Sometimes when you're a team and you're trying not only to take that next step, but for the future, kind of demonstrate and exhibit to other potential free agents, et cetera, that, hey, we're an organization that has turned the page and we're trying to sort of do some things that maybe we hadn't done in the past. Sometimes you have to overpay for some people. Or you have to kind of get a guy that maybe he's not on schedule with the rest of your young stars. And I think that's what Phoenix was doing when they went and got Chris Paul. And of course, to make sure that Devin Booker is happy and those things. But
he's also a leader, so I think he wants to impart some wisdom on this team. I think it's a good fit. I just don't think it's going to move the needle as far as pushing them further into the playoffs. But it does make them better.
Yeah, and they had
today.
to do something, because the other thing too is you don't want to be emotional about your moves, but at the same time, when you're in the Pacific Division in the Western Conference, Lakers, Clippers, Sacramento's a good young team. Like when you're in that division, you have to start looking at, okay, what are we going to do just so we can compete?
in our own
And
division.
of course, like for Devin, in terms of, I think he started to mature as a playmaker, but having him and Chris in the same backcourt would be great. You know, Cam Johnson being able to get the looks that he'll be able to get, Mikal Bridges. But the guy that should really benefit the most from this is DeAndre Ayton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, being able to play the pick and roll, because with Chris Paul is in his office in the pick and roll, man. So with that being said, the things that they'll be able to do from a pick and roll standpoint, you know, one of the things I can say when we drafted DeAndre was I wanted him to run the floor more, because if you have to score against a stacked defense every single time because your center's not running the floor, that's very, very difficult unless you got Shaquille O'Neal, right? And so DeAndre, with how athletic he is, he can run the floor and get 6 to 8 points a game. And that's a way that you sort of stretch defenses. Everybody attributes stretching defenses to shooting. But if bigs run the floor, you stretch a defense out. And so when you have a guy like Chris Paul that will deliver the ball if you're running the floor like that, and will pass it maybe when you're not expecting it, I think it'd be great for him. And again, understanding where to get him the ball in spots where he's comfortable, continuing to help him grow his game, throwing him open. I think Chris Paul can do that as well. So I think it's a good deal for the Suns.
Should definitely help Book. You know, he's going to cook. We've seen him, you know, go for 70 plus against Boston before. So should open up some things for him. Kelly, how much do you like this deal? CP3 going to the Phoenix Suns, who, of course, finished the bubble last year or this past season 8-0, just missing the playoffs.
I'm a huge CP3 fan, like enormous. But when I saw, I was like, "Ooh, that's a lot for a person." But you know,
for guys in his late
like,
30s, the guy's still like 40 something. With 2 years left, like 40 something.
He gave a lot. But I mean, I understand, because you have to be competitive, and I feel like they're at that point of like, what are we gonna do? You know, you're right at the cusp of, you know, stepping into being a contender or being always spoken about in the conversation of championships. And so you have to do something. So they felt like this was their guy. I think he's immensely talented. So it's a good move. It was a lot, but it's a good move. And I think he'd be a good fit for the organization as well. I feel like he's such a good dude. I don't know him personally, but from what I see of him in the media and all that he does, like, I feel like he's a good dude. So more power to him, I think.
Yeah, OG, we saw CP3 take another Kentucky point guard or guard underneath his wing with Shea Gilgeous Alexander, and now gets, you know, Devin Booker on the other side. You look at CP3. We talked about the money that's there, that's still left there, but he did a good job of, you know, being a leader in OKC. I can see him doing the same thing here. Look, I like it. It's a young core. You got DeAndre. You got Book there. Where do you see this Phoenix Suns team? I think you can pencil them in for the playoffs. Now they're probably going to get their head bashed in playing somebody like, you know, one of the LA teams. But we've seen stranger things happen too, right?
Yeah, I mean it was interesting, I guess, because when you think about the West Coast in general, I mean it used to, you know, it's the transition up and down game. Obviously, they're one of the few teams that actually have a decent big. Um, I don't like. I guess as long as it doesn't get in Book's way. I mean, because like Book is more. He's an attacker. I thought if he could average anywhere from 5 to 7 assists, he could almost, you know, run a point and just be that combo guard, you know, at a high level. Because I don't the CP3 man, like he slows down the game at times, and I don't know how well that's gonna fit with them and how they like to get out and, you know, get out and run, and Books is putting up a ton of shots. But I'm not against it. I'm just saying it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how it works. I always felt like my favorite CP3 was in New Orleans when like he was aggressive, and because he's one of the few point guards that was always really considered like a true PG, but I thought he could shoot and score with the best of them. And when he
game is lethal too.
Exactly. That was one of the things that used to that piss me off when he played with the Clippers, because they needed him to be like that, because they had two great interior guys that did all the dirty work, slams and all, but they needed a score, and they didn't have that at times. And I thought if he was a little bit more greedier, he could have pushed it a lot with that team. So ever since then, it's been like, we back to traditional CP3, and we not really getting. I've always thought he was a 20-point a night PG anyway, regardless of how many assists that he gives out or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna need the same thing. Although this young core that they have in Phoenix is great. I just think as long as it's not too slow pace, I think they'll be fine. And then OKC is becoming like the pit stop of the NBA. Like I mean, it's no real expectation.
Man, they're gonna have a first round pick. They're gonna have 2 first round picks for the rest of the decade.
Yeah, they're gonna constantly draft young players.
Crazy.
They're gonna stay there for so long.
Mid-market team,
and then that's it. But I mean,
small market, not even mid, small.
Yeah,
it's understandable. I mean, I can't wait till we get to the next time. I view Milwaukee the same way, but
you're right. But they got a general. Real quickly, around the horn. Suns. Did they give up too much? A Willie, yes or no for CP3? Gun to my head, I say yes, but I think they had no choice.
Yeah, that's why I would say no because I think they had to. Yeah, I think they had to.
Kelly?
No, because what else are we going to do here? So it's kind of like a force. So I mean, it's a lot, but I mean, if the payoff on the other end is good, then it's not a lot.
It's not gross. It's not negligent. I mean, just slight lean gun to my head. I'm like, yeah, it's a little too much, but it's not so gross like the next one we're going to talk about. You're right, OG. Real quickly, too much for CP3?
No, like you said, I'm in agreement with that. Real big thing is that if you're not in LA, you're not in New York, you're in big market areas, you got to try to do what you can do.
Good deal. All right. We were just talking about this next one. Drew Holiday going to the Bucks. I love Drew Holiday. Dame Lillard has said he's probably the best defender in the NBA, on-ball defender from the point from the guard position. KD, I believe is echoed those sentiments as well. He spoke highly and glowingly about Drew Holiday. Boy, they gave up a lot, man. The Bucks, they gave up Bledsoe, George Hill, not one, not two, not three. No, actually, they did give up three first round picks. What was that 2020, 2025, and 2027? Oh my gosh, man! For Drew Holiday, look, Drew's a fabulous player. Definitely, probably one of the top 5 point guards in the NBA. But holy cow! All that for a guy that's like 6'3". Like I need generational to give up that. Give up for LeBron. But I understand it. Look, I mean, you look at the starting 5. They added Bogdanovich as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
that's a good pickup.
Starting 5 looks pretty good. You got Middleton out there, and one of the big brothers. What's his name? I forget his name.
Lopez.
One of the Lopez brothers. Yep, you got Brooke out there. So A Willie, too much.
Yeah, I want A Willie to go first.
Too much. But it doesn't mean it won't help and work out. But that's a bag, man. I mean, New Orleans is like this. Y'all can have them for that.
Yeah. They gave up a lot, and what it's similar to is
I think they can plug in George Hill and still win 35 games. 40 games.
Yeah, George Hill led the NBA in 3-point shooting.
3-point shooting. It's like 46 and some change right over JJ Redick. You're right. That's why I'm like, damn, that's a lot. Go ahead.
But what is similar to in Milwaukee is very similar to, I think, with Houston, with what, when they offered James that $50 million, like James wasn't going to take that, and they knew it, but they wanted to put that out in the public just so they could say, look, we weren't really trying to tank, but we really are trying. So we'll offer him something that he's not going to take. And I think Milwaukee, to a certain extent, was under kind of that same type of pressure, because if Giannis leaves, they want to communicate to their fan base, hey, we tried everything that we possibly could.
That's what it was about.
So with that being, so that's what it looked like to me. But looking at this as a team, I think it works. I think one of the things that they did was, we talked about this a lot, they missed Malcolm Brogdon. So they added a playmaking a 3-point shot maker, defensive guy in the backcourt. They missed that.
How much did they miss? I agree with you, but when I look at him, like Bledsoe gave them the numbers. He gave them the numbers.
But when they had both of those guys on the floor at the same time, like especially when you play a team like Miami was literally playing a 3-2 zone on them because they didn't have enough playmaking on the perimeter. Right. So So
Well,
they
that
didn't
zone
have
screwed up
that.
everybody except LA. I mean, it screwed up Boston.
Yeah,
too.
but you got to, in order to combat that. I'm sure OG can attest to this as a coach. I look at this and I see teams playing zones, and I'm like, dude, like you guys don't do the old school hit a gap, make two people play you, pass the ball out to the open guy. It's just amazing to me
Or
that
get
you
the
don't
ball in
see
the middle
that.
of the damn zone. I mean, that's all you
Yeah,
gotta
like
I
do.
was
Get the
I
ball
was
in
gonna
the
say
zone.
that's why the Lakers beat up zones because
Yeah,
for one they had big interior players that did all the grit work that you
yeah.
need to fight to combat against the zone, and then you got LeBron, the ultimate playmaker with
Yeah,
shooters spread it out. So I mean,
yeah,
it's the perfect formula.
yeah. So I look at it as much as they may have improved as a team and they gave up a ton to do it. The other thing is I'm also looking at it as well. And I get Giannis is a generational talent,
Hmm.
but what this team does is incumbent upon how much he improves too.
Sure.
So, so I would look at him and think like, hey man, some of this comes down on you, man. You got to be able to make a jumper
Yeah.
in order to be a little more, you know, just add a little more
To your game,
diversity
to
to
your
your
repertoire.
game.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And I
Yep.
think some of their struggles can be attributed to the fact that Giannis is very predictable. And if you
Hmm.
have the personnel to deal with that, you can negate him to a certain extent.
In the
So,
words of Trump and his supporters, man, build a wall. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You got to build a wall. That's how you take out. Come on in here, Kelly.
Yo, y'all are you're crazy.
We're wilding tonight. We're wilding tonight. Do they give up?
Crazy.
Do they give up too much? I'm assuming from
Absolutely.
Kelly Wells. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. They gave
But
up
will it pay?
everything.
But will it pay off though? I guess that's the
You know,
answer. We all
it's
agree they give up too much. Will it pay off?
right. And
Out
that's
of
what it comes
James
down
comes to
to.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead.
That's what
Kel.
it comes down to. If it pays off, then it's never too much. But if it doesn't, and we all sitting around in the locker room looking like, well, well, this didn't go as planned, then yes, it's overly too much. So I think I'm not a huge gambler, but then I also kind of live by the like gamble big, win big kind of thing. Like you'll never know what's gonna happen unless you try it and you put it out there, especially when you come to a point like they just upgraded the backcourt. Awesome. So now what else is gonna complement that? And I just feel like we're seeing now like teams becoming more complete. And if you're gonna try to contend, if you're gonna try to win games, if you're gonna try to make the playoffs and go far, you have to have a complete team. You can't just have like one or two here because teams are making up for that in other places. So what are you going to do and how are you going to build a team that complements each other as well? Like, are we going to be able to play together, work together, succeed together? So jury's still out. They gave up everything. I hope it pays off because that is, I would not want to be in a boardroom, a coach's room, a locker room, if not.
Boardroom, locker room, boiler room.
None of it. Put me out of the facility.
I hear you. OG. She was talking about the shooting. They did it. Drew can shoot definitely. Bogdanovich definitely will help from the wing. He shoots, high 30s, 37, 38% from three. Here's a guy pretty good. He's even better on catch and shoot. I believe I read around 40, 41%. It's
He's
definitely
good off the dribble too.
yeah, get some good numbers there. But look, do they give up too much? Hell yeah, OG. They got two guys that can replace Drew. They got George Hill and they got Bledsoe. That's two guys. Two is usually better than one, and they got three first. If I'm New Orleans, I'm like, man, Drew, we love you. Great story. Love you and your wife. We wish you well. How can we get you to the airport? I mean, our drivers will take you. God bless you. We'll send you, we'll send you gift cards and holiday cards every year too.
This is my thing. I mean, I need a fact checker. I mean, like, because Giannis' contract is up when?
Next year.
Yeah,
Next
so
year.
there's no if. Like, I mean,
Oh, they have to placate him.
Yeah, but this is my thing. I think the build around Giannis has been completely wrong. I mean, I think when you look at somebody, now I've been in defense for him, and I will agree that yeah, his shooting can improve, yes. But when you look at somebody who's giving you 30, 10, and 5, 30, 10, and 5, like you gotta build shooters around him, like everywhere. Like, I mean, because it's obvious he can score in the paint. Now, it sounds absurd when you're blaming somebody who gives you 30, 10, and 5. Like that man, it's some loose holes everywhere else.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think like we talked about George Hill, I didn't like that fact of it because he shoots the ball. I felt like now Bledsoe and some of the other players they've had out there, Middleton has been ghost. here and there when they've needed him at times. And he's another knockdown shooter, but Bledsoe can't shoot. Like he's streaky, but we know he's more of an attacker, slasher, defender, gritty guy. I just don't think they.
The guard position. Yep.
Yeah, I think they did. Now, I think they possibly did the best that they could do far as their negotiation tactics and everything like that. But far as really putting a core around Giannis to succeed, they haven't done that.
And not only that, Boston wanted Drew Holiday too. There was a lot of talk. In Boston, they have a lot of assets, and for them to outdo Boston, they had to do something like that.
Yeah, and it's only now I'm saying that, but it's only been certain teams that's been able to build correctly around their star player. And as much as people talk about Bron going from team to team, which is I heckle and troll about it all the time, but he gets shooters because he's a slasher at the end of the day. Yeah, he'll make some threes, he'll make some mid-range fadeaways and different, but his thing is get to the cup, drive, draw, and dish. And he makes sure that he has people to kick it to. I think Giannis could be the same thing. I think he's more of a lethal threat than probably anybody getting to the rim, but he has nobody to bail him out. And I think that's been more of the problem than anything. If you look at all the teams in the East that's been in his way, they've had better shooters than he had. And I think that's going to forever be a problem. I mean, I'd enjoy watching those memes with him going to Golden State, because if that ever was to happen, the court is wide open. Nobody is stopping him from getting to the rim, and you got to cover everybody out there on the perimeter. So,
and the NBA's like, no, we don't want that.
And I still view that the same way. Like, typically,
you think they were good with KD?
Yeah,
they might win. They might win 79, 80 games.
Yeah, now typically I wouldn't have been with the big three for Brooklyn, but that works because all of those guys are prolific scorers, and if you just give them serviceable big guys or interior guys, that's all you need. Like, I mean, so this the whole infrastructure, the way that team is built. I just don't think it's been the best for Giannis.
Yeah. Lastly, Willie, your thoughts on this? What do the Bucks need to do to even make this worthwhile? Do they have to get to the finals, or do they have to win the whole damn thing with this haul that they're giving up, this haul that New Orleans is getting?
For me, I would think
they got to win it all. They got to win it all. You give that up?
I think for a team that got booted in the second round with the way that they did, I think they at least need to get to the finals, or be getting close to it, because to go to how they got booted in the second round and say, okay, you got booted in the second round that way, then think, okay, we're going to go and win the finals. That's a tall task. That's a very tall task. So I would say they got to at least try to get to at least be in the Eastern Conference Finals and be fighting. Yeah. Right? Like, because
Eastern Conference Finals ain't enough. That ain't enough.
You
were there 2 years ago.
I thought the Bucks have been overrated a lot of the time.
I agree.
Though.
I do.
The record, okay.
That's regular season.
It means more than just the record. Like, I mean, I felt like that he's had the short end of the stick. I mean, I knew none of those times that they were going to the finals, and so. I mean, it's just been unfortunate, because when you have the best record in your conference, they're going to expect you to at least get to the conference finals, if not the finals.
Exactly. So what do you think to make this deal worthwhile? Get to the conference finals, or win the whole damn thing?
Shoot, 1A, 2A, 1A, 1B, 1C. It's got to be one. It's got to be one.
Yes, you got to do better. You got to do better than you did. You can't go backwards.
Conference, it's tricky because they didn't get to the conference finals last year. 2 years ago they did. That's what I'm like. I agree with Willie. I was being facetious about winning all, but you bare minimum have to get to the finals. Conference finals, like hell no. This is a loss. This is a lost cause.
Now they could get the benefit of the doubt though, Larry, because typically they've been seeing us.
You gave up two starting guards in this league and 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, it's tough. But what I'm saying is they've been seeing some of the teams now that may make a push to be a higher seed, and it may end up panning out where they may get a good route to get to at least the Eastern Conference Final, because they've been playing the Nets a few times.
Yeah, that
so I don't expect us to be no 7-8 seed. Now.
Yeah. Now look, if the Nets get CP3, I'll reserve my right to change. But
Oh,
right now,
okay.
Milwaukee, you better be in the NBA Finals right now. Now, if they, like I said, Brooklyn gets,
They get James.
they get
Like,
James Napier, then too bad. Y'all gave up all that to finish second place in the East. You'd be like a freaking Indianapolis put up Eastern Conference finalist a better.
Oh,
It's just
man.
sad for it. It's really just sad for the small market
It is.
areas, man. I mean, it just is what it is.
All right. Good stuff. We'll go from the NBA. A lot of good stuff with the NBA, man. You guys are very smart. Very high IQ, basketball high IQ from you guys. I really enjoyed it. You guys are real smart, man. I learn something from you guys every day. Let's go to the National Football League real quickly. Cards down. We saw the Bills come back, score with about 30 seconds left. Stephon Diggs with the catch from Josh Allen. Kyler Murray. I don't know how he did it. He should have been sacked. Runs out, throws it in the air about 50 or about 52, 53 yards. Deandre Hopkins, we show the video, and it's called the dubbing it the Hail Murray. What a great catch by DeAndre Hopkins. My question to you guys, we know how great it is. Is DeAndre Hopkins the best receiver in the National Football League? No qualification. Is he the best receiver in the National Football League? We'll go with you, Kelly, because you live down there in Houston where he used to play. And I'm sure the
Yeah.
Houston Texans are like,
Oh, my
man, that was a
goodness.
great trade, wasn't it?
They're slapping themselves. I give him top 3. But yeah,
Who's
top
in the
three.
top
Like,
three? Who's in the top 3?
I mean, he's in there.
He been doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
no matter
he's
the
a solid
quarterback.
player. Yes, and he fits he fits well. He becomes a silent leader on the team. He's everything that a franchise would want in a receiver. And the way that he went up and snatched that ball down, like it was just as much him as it was Kyler. Because there was so much chaos, and in the end zone, it was over 3 people, like 3 defenders. So it was just as much him as it was
On the
Kyler.
head.
Yes,
That's what
when
he said.
When Kyler threw that ball, I know that it left his hand with a prayer, like
Mm.
please God, let it get to where it's supposed to go. And then I know that Kyler knows that DeAndre is one of those guys. If he get it in his vicinity, he's gonna bring it down. So it was just divine intervention, and it worked out perfectly, and it was a beautiful play, no matter what.
Yeah. So you said top 3. Who did you have in your top 3? You got DeAndre. It's all right.
Yeah.
Little man's part of the show. Come on, he's
No,
family.
no.
She's
Please
like,
don't
no,
hype him up.
no,
Please
no.
don't hype him up.
Rash.
He's straight trash. So, all right. Well, so real quickly, hey, what's up, buddy? You look
What's
good,
up,
man.
what's up?
Learn
What's
that
up?
T Rash. I got
What's
it.
up?
Yeah.
I told them you said people with T-rash. Isn't that what you
T-Rash.
said?
I like it. What's up, Young King? So we got Burger King, and then we got Young King. I like this. Good stuff.
Okay, go play. I'm almost done.
So your top 3: Hopkins. Who else?
AB.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he's the best route runner in the league.
I mean, it just hasn't done anything last year. But I mean, I'm
Yeah. Well, I feel like I
that's
don't
more
love
of a
him.
reputation. Yeah.
Yes,
reputation.
yes. Jury's
You
out.
can come in and not do anything and then do what he did. You pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Like,
Definitely.
man.
I don't know if I have him on my top 3 right now, as we
Right now.
but
Yeah.
Okay. Who else?
And I'll circle back when you think on this.
Cool. OG. DeAndre Hopkins. Great catch. We know that. Is he the best receiver in the league right now?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can make an argument for it. Like I said, he's put up the numbers, and I think as Derwin, I'm brother not here today, but I'm taking one from his page. He's a hands catcher, so I mean, you can't. I mean, anywhere, anytime the ball comes near him, it's a catch. Like I mean, so
Damn, his
I
hands
was
are so damn strong, man.
yeah, I was disappointed though because when the ball went up in the air, I literally paused it and counted. They was in prevent. Like I mean. I don't know how, let alone he makes the catch, but he makes it on 2 people.
No.
One of the top
No.
defensive.
You're cutting him short. 3.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, one in front, one in back, like one on the side. Like, I mean, he beat everybody else down the field. It's going up in the air, and it's just like, I mean, I don't see how you don't make a play on it. I think I seen a funny meme or something like, they asked Kyler about it. He was like, I knew he was down there somewhere. Like I mean, like, and it's not like it's coming from a Big Ben or a Brady or nothing.
Yeah.
It's coming from a smaller quarterback. But I mean, and I think I've heard you say this before, Larry, about baseball. Like I mean, when he was going to, you seen it. Like the whole ball, he just flicked it, like, and it was gone. And it was a phenomenal catch. And like I said, I like receivers like him who, like I said, he gets the job done no matter who's throwing him the ball. And that's just a testament to how good he really is.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, your thoughts are, you got to get you in here, man. Look, DeAndre Hopkins, we all know how great he is. Probably has the best hands in the NFL. Larry Fitzgerald, I think he's dropped like what, 1 or 2 passes in the last like 2 or 3 years. He actually dropped one Sunday, which was rare for him. Your thoughts, DeAndre Hop, nuke the bomb. What you got?
I think D Hop is the best receiver in the NFL because again, the speed, the hands. The other thing too, the dependability. This dude doesn't miss games. So before that, Julio, of course, was the guy. But the things from a health standpoint, you always have to wonder if Julio's going to be there. Then when he does play, is he 100% while he's out there? So for me, I think it's D Hop, man. I think he's the best receiver in the league.
I was going to get on. See, that's my guy. And see, the thing is, Julio's been hurt the last couple of years. But let me tell you a little something about Julio. He can do all the things we just talked about. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the hands, great route running as well, great technician at the top, stem, everything with the route running. That's why I like Julio, but he's been hurt, so it's kind of hard. Look, I'll give DeAndre Hopkins an asterisk right now. I'll say he's the best receiver in the league right now, only because Julio's hurt. When Julio's healthy, to me, he's always been the best receiver in the league. Now, I like what DK Metcalf is doing because he's a beast. I don't know if he's technically sound as an AB or a Julio from a route running perspective, but Julio's fast, he's big, got great hands, and he's really good coming out of the break as well. So that's what I would say as far as Julio Jones. I'm looking for that quote where he says, DeAndre Hopkins had the best quote of the weekend. He was like, I was on 3 people. They were in position. It was just a better catch by eye. And I said,
yeah, right.
It was just a better catch by eye. And he was so serious. He was drinking while it was just a better catch by eye. I'm like, that was special. That was really good. The post game, he won the post game too. So not only did he win the game for the Cardinals, C. Red out there in Arizona, he also won the post game press conference when he's like, it was just a better catch by eye. So good stuff there.
He said he knew he was going to catch it too.
He did.
He said, I knew I was going to catch it. Confidence is something else, boy.
Hey, always bet on yourself. Hey, always.
For real, man. For real. And these guys, I tell you what, the Texans, they shouldn't be allowed to bet, damn it. Because I don't know what that was. Speaking of betting, like, really? David Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins?
With a straight face, too.
This
is very serious.
No chaser. No, just like straight up. Like, I don't know. I would have taken some Big League Chew or fucking, a 6-pack or something, and probably would have been happier.
I like that, Larry. I like that.
Big League Chew's coming on board too.
I love Big League Chew.
I got something for all of us. Starting.
And first of all, I'm not even taking no bait talking about you got stuff for people because I ain't got no rub, no smoke signal.
A rug?
Rub like the skins. I like. You're not gonna bait me.
I'm gonna reach out to my people today. We're gonna get you something in the mail. I promise you. After we get done, remind me. I'll hit the guy. We'll get you something in the mail. You gonna use it?
Yes.
Well, I know you could use it. He'll be happy to send it. I'm like, hey, I got my Olympics.
Yes.
You want some cream? Oh shoot! I'll send her a tub of it.
I work out like 30 hours a week. Literally.
You work out? Okay.
Yes.
Better. I don't work out. I gave that stuff up a long time
We can
ago.
tell.
You didn't see her tweet, Larry. You didn't see her tweet, Larry. She, working out is cool, to stay fine and all, but I need a challenge.
Yeah, like I need something. Like I want to train for something. I want to be like I need something to do.
You just did that. I heard that. Did y'all?
I'm here as a friend though. Like I'm just here.
Coach K, you heard that, right? Kevin, unmute yourself. Coach K, did I miss something here?
No, I'm just here to help you. You're 44. You're brown. You're good looking.
It was shade.
No. It was. I'm just trying to keep everybody healthy.
What she say, Coach?
The challenge has been set. You guys have to race.
No,
What
no,
do you like that?
I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke.
Run, Larry, run.
I'll give you a head start.
No, I'm good. I'm good. That's a loser for me. I can't win that one. You got beat by a girl. Well, damn, she's only like the fastest woman on earth. I don't want that. I ain't falling
It's
for
like
that.
Tyreek versus T.O.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's bad.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of the lady right here, our queen of esports extra, Kim Ing, becoming the Marlins GM. Great move for her. 30 plus years of experience. She's worked with a bunch of franchises, a plethora of franchises, some pillars, major pillars in Major League Baseball. Dodgers on the West Coast, Yankees, and others. How big of a deal is this for Major League Baseball? I think this is cool. She's the first woman to hold a GM position, general manager position in the four major sports. This is groundbreaking. This is like I was going to say Kamala Harris as the VP nomination, the VP elect with Biden. We'll start with you, Kelly.
It's beyond huge. It is, groundbreaking. It is breaking that glass ceiling. It is showing other little girls, especially like girls of color. She may not be Black, but she's still a woman of color that, stuff can be done. This lady is more qualified than other GMs that have come before her already. So her resume speaks for itself. Then it also shows like the problem, like look at what she had to do before she got there. And that's a huge problem. But, we'll circle back. We're thankful. We're happy. I'll be cheering her on 100%. And it just shows that with persistence and hard work, like stuff can happen. And now, like, I think the greatest thing about this is, for women, for people, when you reach a new, platform, a new era, you create more seats at the table. So I think that she'll have a big duty on her hands to, open doors, cultivate, because sports is very much like that good old boys network. So,
it's a good old boys club, that's for sure.
Yeah. So let's get more women, let's get more people of color, let's be more inclusive. I think she's wildly talented. I was reading up on her and I was like, well, damn.
So let's see, we got 30 MLB teams, right? You got 30 NBA teams, you got 30 NHL teams, and 32 NFL teams. So that's what 122 franchises, and one of them has a female GM. So I mean, I harken back, Willie, on Obama. When he won the White House, I cried. I was in Boston. I looked at my two little black boys at the time. They were 2 and 0. Actually, no, one of them wasn't even born. He was about to be born the next month. He was pretty much. He was close. And I'm like, man, we have arrived. We can literally do anything. This is the glass ceiling being broken for young girls around here. And I've got a young daughter, the youngest of my 4 kids now. I can look at her and say, hey, you want to do, because she loves baseball. She got mad when I put her in softball, Willie.
So like, I
can
want to play
respect
baseball.
that. Yeah, I can respect that.
She's like, why you do that? I'm like,
what is this?
Girls, after 9 or 10, the girls play softball. I'm like, you'll go out there and see the girls actually throw harder than those little boys were throwing last year. And she saw it. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's good. One of the things that is really stood out to me was baseball was the actual sport that did it, because if you look at the 4 majors, it's the one that probably has the biggest issue in terms of marketing with respect to diversity. It's probably one of the reasons why I got left behind, because for the longest time the biggest star that baseball would market is a guy that played 100 years ago with Babe Ruth. So, and that's no disrespect to his accomplishments, but it didn't stay in with the American sports conscience because of the fact that it was sort of trapped in this, we're America's pastime, and society was changing and baseball didn't change with it. So I think from that standpoint, it's very interesting, and it's good that, they're the sport that does it, because they're the one that probably has the biggest issue from a diversity standpoint. So then my former GM that I work with in Boston, Theo Epstein, was talking about how some of the choices he was tweeting, and someone tweeted about, he was saying some of the choices that some of the GMs have made are probably taking some of the athleticism. And, when they say the athleticism, what we're talking about here, he's taking us out of the game. So with that being said, right, it was interesting that baseball was the sport to do it first.
Yeah. And AG, not AG, excuse me, OG. She's in a pretty good spot too. We talked about the 30 years of experience down in Miami, a team that went to the playoffs this year, the Marlins. Nice pitching staff, nice young players, laid back, laissez-faire fans. I worked in Miami. Franchise has won some World Series, a couple of them. Not a lot of pressure. Um, yeah, I can't think of a better spot to be in because they can actually win, and there's not a lot of pressure on her right now.
No, that's. I mean, it's great. I mean, and like for me, I think a lot of people, when they get in their feelings about diversity and inclusion, I mean, and you think about it's not just somebody getting a job or getting a position because they're this or they're that. It's I put in the body of work. I deserve to have the same opportunity as someone else that has put in the body of work as well. And I think often that's where it gets conflicted because we know it's a lot of situations where people have put in the body of work and they constantly keep getting overlooked. And I'm glad in this, situation that, I mean, it shows that she can do the job. And so why not? Like, why not it be her? And I see that in a lot of other opportunities. I don't want people to constantly just think like, oh, just because so and so is black or whatever that they should have a job. No, it's because they've been at a certain assistant coach at certain levels, at the pro levels, everything, like they've done everything that they needed to do to be prepared for that position. So, hats off to her. And you're right. I mean, nothing fits better than you being qualified for a position. You get the position, and it also it's a great environment and a good situation for you to thrive. Yeah. And I think that's the next step to come behind.
How many GMs have 30 plus years of experience? Phil Epstein didn't have that when he took over the Boston Red Sox, right? She started in 1990. Some
that's
of you
why
weren't
I said
even around.
that's why she's overqualified. She's
more
exactly. Qualified than most GMs.
Absolutely.
Yes, So it just makes more sense.
I would say with 90% of our audience watching right now, she's had more experience than they've been alive.
Do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's been in Major League Baseball since 1990. So, yeah. Go ahead, Kelly. Last thought.
The only thing I worry about with, women in sports, I've been around sports teams a lot. And when there have been women that have gotten in positions of power on teams, I've seen it go south for them because of getting mixed up with players.
I'm not worried about.
Yes, so I'm not worried about her. Yeah. I'm not worried about her because she's not in that category. Exactly. But women themselves have to realize that what that does to damage women who do want to work legitimately in sports. That you can't poop where you eat.
No,
you cannot.
No, you're right. So, we call it pooping in your own backyard. I did that. So. I dated my coworker. So yeah, and ended up marrying her. So yeah, that's.
Oh well, that's fine.
Yeah, but you're right. But I was on thin ice because she was my producer. We were dating. She got mad at me. All of a sudden, my time went down.
I like her. I like her.
But I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. But she tried to pull that. It's like, well, you're the producer, I'm the anchor, and I can just keep on talking. You can't cut me off. Who do you think the bosses are gonna back? Me or you? We were having these conversations, but yeah, you're right. But 30 years of experience for Kim.
Not her. I don't worry about her. No, she's in a class of her own. Like she can hold seminars for them, it's funny, you just said
a league of their own was the baseball movie about the women, right?
That's one of my favorite movies. It's no crying.
I do want to say this though. I mean, a lot of times, especially like we don't always see the situations where a woman's idea and touch is sometimes more effective than the way us guys think from time to time.
You think a woman's touch is better than a guy's touch? Well, yeah,
of course. I'm not talking about physical. I'm not talking about physical. But I'm saying, because naturally,
I'm about to say that is not breaking news, by the way.
but naturally in certain situations, especially and when we talk about team and everything like that, they see and think about things differently that can prove to be a little bit more effective. I mean,
That's why you need
so
diversity.
exactly. I mean, so I just wanted to add that. I mean, because I see that a lot. I mean, that's why when I built my team around me, I have women that I go to that I can listen to and tell me like what I need to do in a lot of different situations. Because a lot of time I'm not thinking about a lot of things, even from what I say to what I write down or whatever. So
Right.
I think I don't know. I'm rooting for her. I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
not a
Mhm.
big baseball fan as of late. When I was younger, I used to be heavy into baseball, but definitely gonna be rooting for her and see how they do.
Yeah. You were talking about you know, people working around you and having great women around you. Once again, OG, you should just put up the muscles. I mean, that was a flex
Mm.
right there. You took a page out of Kelly's book right there. We saw it. You've been flexing today, man. Like, oh, I've got great deals. I've been working hard. I'm busy. I mean, I've got all these great deals and all this content. My bad, OG. We want to be like you when we grow up, man. Like
Nah, man, it's
Brooklyn Nets signing your checks. You work literally for the association. Like, real talk, boy.
hey,
He just shook his head like,
life's good. I mean, life's good. I
facts,
mean,
facts. Yeah. All right, we were talking about Kim Ing. Worked with the White Sox from 1990 through 96, the Yankees from 98 through 2001, the Dodgers from 02 through 11, and she's been in the MLB Commissioner's Office the last 10 years from 11 through 20. So definitely qualified, 30 freaking
Nice.
years of experience. She's pretty good with analytics and everything. She knows the game inside and out. We're rooting for her. Like I said, she's going into a pretty good situation. A team that was pretty much written off, had the COVID issues, all those games and all those players still went to the playoffs. They have a pretty good team in the National League East. Real quickly, Lil Nas X, the esports part of the program, Roblox concert. I was told it was Saturday. I didn't see it. What did I miss?
started it. Well, actually, it was a series that started on November 12th, and it basically had 4 sets over the course of 3 days, and just the amazing number. It was 33 million that actually tuned in.
Are you serious?
33 million.
Yeah,
Yes,
people like my daughter, all the 10-year-olds in America were watching. Absolutely.
and we're saying, look, 4 series, 10 minutes, like that, like that's it.
What did he do?
33.
Did he sing? Like Coach K showed me the video, and I'm like, I think that's him in the middle. Was he like in the middle of a damn cake or something? It looked weird. Like what am I looking at? Okay. All right, let me check it out. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know of Roblox for Roblox because of the kids. It's not a game I've been into or whatever, but
Oh, so he's the big
Love
Santa
it.
Claus, right? He's like the big Santa Claus or whatever, or he was in that.
yeah.
Well, that yeah, that works. But what? Yeah, okay, yeah. My daughter corrected me every time I said something wrong. She's like, that's wrong. That's not right. I'm like, I'm sorry. You know what she asked me a little while ago? She was like, I want $1,000. I think you can get like over a million Roblox or something like that. She's like, can I
Mm.
get $1,000? I'm like, man, you crazy. You real crazy. hmm So, well, your
Hustle.
thoughts?
Like
I know. I get
like
hustled all the time.
1,000.
She wanted $1,000. I think you can get like a million or 10 million Roblox. No, no,
Yes,
no, no. She
that's
said
what
$1,000 so I can buy Roblox, and I think you get like a million or 10 million. It's
a
over a
cool
million.
G.
Yeah.
She want a cool G.
And I'm like, why? I don't understand this generation. Like, okay, instead of flying on a dragon, you get a purple dragon. Like, what the? I'm like, what does that do for me? Don't get me started on DLC. I don't want to do that because I hate that. But hey, Willie, Kel, if y'all get in here, this is great job by OG breaking it down. What do you guys think of not Lil Nas X and the Roblox concert? I can't believe we're talking about this, but yeah,
I think it's genius. He's full.
yeah,
I mean, the kids love him. And then I love, he's this little black kid who's afraid of being, himself being out. He's
mm-hmm.
a gay rapper, young
A lot
kid.
of
And I think
things.
that he's, very inspirational for the kids to show them that you can be your authentic self and still be loved. Because I know that's a huge struggle, especially in the black community. Like, a young man may be afraid that his parents, his dad won't accept him and love him. So hopefully that eases some of these kids' angst. And then Roblox is freaking genius. Like they went and got the right one. Like this kid hits like that Old Town Road. I promise you, that's like for the 99 and 2000s when my baby hear it. Like he comes busting out of nowhere and he knows all the words, the ad lib parts. So I mean, I think it fits perfectly, especially for how poppin' Roblox is. I know in my house it gets some of my checks. So Roblox is, I think it was just a merger of two very powerful things, and 33 million. Like we need to figure out how to market to 10-year-olds.
Was that over 2 days? 33 million.
Like, what are we doing?
Was that on Twitch or what was it? Like, was it on Roblox? Is it
in the game? In the game.
Oh my god, that
is
even more genius. That's even more genius.
It's like whoever thought of that, high five.
Well, I mean, we've seen other games do it. Yeah, exactly. Travis Scott, Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what it was compared
Marshmallow
to.
Man. Yep, absolutely. My other kid, my middle son, my young teenage son. Now, when we go to McDonald's, you're like, he does the Travis Scott thing or whatever, and the people, well, what do you say when you want the Travis Scott deal? No. What are you supposed to say? No, you say no. Not that. I gotta ask him. Go ahead. Hey, Willie. What did Jordan say? London, come here. London, come here.
I'm hollering for London. Come here, honey.
We talk about these things, and boy, you should just see how my eyes just glaze over. We talk about some of these things. Oh man, they ask me for like DLC, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I don't care how purple your dragon is. I don't care what cool. Like my other son, he's got an orange saber for Star Wars, and costs all this damn money.
Ooh,
I'm like, okay,
that's
so
big.
I know it's huge.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He pre-ordered Star Wars last year, and he got an orange saber. That's what he got. And I'm like,
it's like keeping up with the Joneses, but inside the
It
game.
is in the game because like your little homies can see you.
When you go to a McDonald's, what are you supposed to say for the Travis Scott meal? See, that's what you know why I'm here. That's what you say. See, I knew it was something different.
And do they serve him what he's asking for?
All you have to say, you know why I'm here. They give you the Travis Scott meal, whatever.
I'm gonna go try this. I don't eat there, but I'm gonna go.
Yeah. I thought it was other thing. I thought it was a Cactus Jack thing.
I knew it was something simple. You know why I'm here, and they'll just start smiling. They'll give you an order. The Travis Scott meal is like, I don't know, $6. It's like a couple of burgers or a burger, a fry, and I don't know. He knows what it is.
I canceled McDonald's a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't eat there, but I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go. There's one around the corner. I'm gonna see what happens.
Now, when you say that, does the milkshake machine always work?
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started.
You know, hey, sidebar. So you know, someone created an app.
We
so
talked
you
about
can like.
No, we know. Genius. I remember I was going to NBC Sports one night to work, and I was going on 95 in Connecticut, middle of the night, coming back. I stopped at 4 McDonald's. I was on the phone with Kevin. All of them out.
Of course, that's way too late.
Yeah, it was like midnight, somewhere around there.
Way too late.
Finally, the fifth one, they were open, and I was so happy. So happy. I've never had a more enjoyable ride home from an hour or two away than that night, because I've been defeated. And then I got this ray of hope, man. It was like the heavens opened up. It was a great ride home. I didn't listen to any music. I just sat there and I was like, and I was just everything. It just
stomach ache.
Yeah. We love our milkshakes, man. Like when you do a live event with us, you're gonna laugh with us because like everywhere we go.
You gotta go Foxwoods, man.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah.
And then I'll be the one like, I'm sorry, do you have coconut milk?
And I'm like, get her ass some milkshake.
You cannot do that at Sugar Factory. You cannot do that there.
Call the Sugar Factory.
I'll just get a drink. I've been there a lot of times.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, they make good drinks.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend. Episode 25, Langston NBA 2K Homecoming Championship this weekend. Black News Channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. Saturday and Sunday, both days. Black News Channel can get it on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity. Also, what do we got? AT&T, DirecTV, Spectrum, Charter, cable as well. 75, 80 million homes for for Black News Channel this weekend, episode 25. Myself and
Hey Willie.
I was gonna go to him. Hey Willie. Hey Willie's in the house. You remember that Hey Willie we did a few weeks ago, man. It's gonna run on TV.
Yes, sir.
You excited, dude? Can we get some tweets, Hey Willie? I've been putting you out there, Hey Willie. Can I get some tweets, some retweets, something?
I tweet all the time and retweet.
You do?
It's because he doesn't follow you. That's why he doesn't see it.
Exactly right.
No,
Tell
we're
him,
gonna,
Kelly.
we're how you shit,
Hold on, that can't be true.
He just OG. He just followed me like last week.
Hold on, Larry. You know,
and
it's
he
for
doesn't
real, 'cause
follow me on Instagram.
She talking to you while she playing with the braid.
He doesn't follow me on Instagram. He just followed me on Twitter, and I had to call him out on air.
See, Kelly knows she can get away with it because she knows I don't want to get punched in the throat by Jasper. So
he ain't even why is he even a factor? He's not even a factor in this conversation.
Well, because some of us are smart, and I've been around the block.
But he's not why would he put you in the face?
But Larry, the counter, that's about as bad as Kelly saying, I'm about to text you. And the text never comes.
Oh, Kelly is that way. Yeah.
Oh my God.
First of all, Larry, only OG can say that.
Not for me.
Only OG can say that.
We got something cooking, man.
We do.
And she ain't hitting me back.
What are you? I'm gonna hit you after. What are you doing after this? You busy? Because you be busy.
Well, actually,
I'll be waiting on the text.
Actually, what we want to do is we'll talk offline, but we want. I think we want Kelly to do the NBA 2K stuff, man. We'll have because we got Derwin that, and we can work her in, and we'll do some. We'll come up with some. We'll get OG in there as well, but with the big league shoe, we'll get everybody some big league shoe. Any thoughts before we get out here, guys? We ain't throwing up the A. We ain't doing that.
Oh, because I was about to ask. I've been dying to ask. Like,
I'm not. We're having technical difficulties.
Hey, you can tune in to the OG 2 Cents podcast.
We can't hear you.
Plug. I'm gonna text you, Larry. I need some tea.
Wrap it up.
Yes, guys, we really appreciate you watching esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports. For Kevin Mamuzet, founder of Compete Forever, pushing all the right buttons. Hey, Willie, down there in the DFW. Where's Jordan at, man?
Jordan.
She's so cute.
Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6. Get Jordan here to say bye. And where's my guy? Where's little Jasper at, man? So we can get some tea right now.
Come here.
They're playing Roblox.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, he really is though. That's what's happening.
See, that's the thing.
Wow.
Come here.
Jordan.
Come here. I want to see if I could write off buying Roblox somehow.
What's it? You call him Buck? Is that what you call him?
Robux.
No.
You should be able. It's gaming related.
Yeah, that's the name of the money in Roblox.
Yeah, it's called Roblox.
No, listen. He's playing Roblox, eating sunflower seeds. Like
Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
You see Jordan?
How you doing, Jordan? Hello. Oh, thumbs up. Good job. How's school going? School good? Thumbs up. Great. All right. Kate, eat your vegetables and listen to your mom and dad, okay?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
And no DLC.
Yeah. All right. Do you play Roblox?
There
you go. There you go.
Don't do it.
Don't
do it.
What's up, buddy?
They're talking to you now.
We're talking about Kelly. Kelly's son. What's up?
What's up?
Hey.
You can say hi. You be doing all that talking when your mama's on. You can talk now. You playing Roblox?
Oh man.
Have you had any Roblox that's T-Rash? No, Roblox. See, that's the thing about Roblox. There's nothing bad about it. It's really annoying. Like there's nothing that they don't like about it other than they just want more of it. That's why I get annoyed by it.
But you can get Robux. You can get Robux.
They make games within games.
Yeah.
You can get them.
You can get Roblox and new characters.
Your mom's got a bank account full of Roblox. Hit her up when you get off, okay?
Okay.
What do I tell you when you want to buy something? What do I say? It's too what?
Too expensive.
Too expensive?
All right, say bye.
Look for my statue in Bloxburg.
All right, let's get out of here, guys. For Kevin Mamuzet, A. Willie, OG out there flying with them Dayton Flyers, and Kelly Wells Brinkley, the queen of esportsXTRA. She's your queen to be.
All right. Good job,
Ohio. 7 p.m. Eastern.
Need some tea after that.
Yeah, esportsXTRA, 7 p.m. Eastern. See you guys tomorrow. Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Bye.